This is the Hawaii most visitors never see. An hour from the luxury hotels and shops in the farthest corner away from Honolulu. It's the Hawaiians' Hawaii, working class and proudly native, where locals will tell you Hawaii is occupied by the US, that it has been for 124 years, and that it'll one day be free. We came here to see the native sovereignty movement in action. We are driving through Waimanalo, which is a stronghold of the sovereignty movement here in Hawaii, and we're headed to a village in the hills that was established by a sovereignty group called the Nation of Hawaii. The village is called Refuge of Waimanalo, with a population of roughly 80. The state handed the group 45 acres of land in the 90s after it occupied a popular beach for over a year. Bumpy Kanahele is the group's leader and head of the village. Do you have your own passport here in the Nation of Hawaii?
We have things ready to print out for the passports.
Can I apply for one? They are banning Muslims in the U.S.
We're taking in citizenship applications now, so any of you disgruntled Americans want to come on by, come to Hawaii, come visit us in Oahu, and we'll be more than happy to accommodate you. You got to learn about us, though, our history.
And for Native Hawaiians, it's a painful history. In 1893, armed U.S. naval forces helped American sugar plantation owners overthrow Hawaii's queen. The provisional government that was set up after ceded Hawaii's sovereignty to the U.S. Then it embarked on a campaign to squash Native culture. What's one word you would use to describe what happened here in 1893?
Genocide. That was their intent, to make life hard for us in such a way it would cause our own destruction. And that's what happened. It's still happening. It's more passive. It's like genocide in paradise.
It's made official at the White House. President Eisenhower congratulates the new congressional representatives of Hawaii, adding the 50th and southernmost state.
Hawaii officially became America's 50th state in 1959. In 1993, the U.S. formally apologized for its involvement in the illegal overthrow of the sovereign Hawaiian kingdom, 100 years after the fact. That's where the story of how Bumpy wrangled these lush foothills begins. In that apology resolution, the U.S. admitted that Native Hawaiians had never relinquished their sovereignty. Armed with that fact, Bumpy and 300 others occupied Makapu'u Beach. They set up tents and blocked the area for 15 months. Hawaii's governor asked Bumpy to end the occupation in exchange for a 55-year lease on this land. Part of the agreement was that if and when a sovereign Hawaiian nation is established, this land would become part of it. Along with the renewed fight for independence came a cultural shift throughout Hawaii. Native Hawaiians began reclaiming traditions that were once actively suppressed. That meant teaching youth language and dance, getting traditional tattoos using ancient techniques, and fostering traditional farming and food making. But in reality, not much has changed. Everyone we talked to during our week there repeatedly stressed that Hawaii continues to be occupied illegally.
Military complex gave us our complex. PTSD, post-traumatic syndrome. 124 years have gone, but we are still here, standing strong.
At a gathering of musicians and activists in Honolulu, the inherited pain was palpable.
We all come from very deep hurt. A crime has been committed and still being committed.
That is part of our struggle to maintain rights, but more importantly, what are those rights rooted in? And those rights are rooted in a country that had its sovereignty and recognition stolen by the United States.
Businessmen, sugar barons, they wanted to soak up the land.
Bumpy sees his village as a model for self-determination, but for now, it's still partially on the grid. The village runs off 200 amp boxes with houses sharing power.
Nobody can have a hot stove going, like one of those hot plates, or like a blow dryer. They gotta watch all of that. It's everybody's in the same house.
Because you guys are off the grid.
Yeah.
So what does it mean for running water?
We're currently working on getting water from the mountains.
Brandon is Bumpy's nephew and one of the village leaders.
We're not politicians, we're not lawyers, we're not these highly schooled individuals. We're just Hawaiians. exercising our rights over here.
20-year-old Filippo was born and raised here.
Yeah, going to school, I had to leave here. Had to go to school, had to get an education because that's the required law. But I could have been homeschooled, but I'd rather go out, make friends.
When people ask you, where do you live, what do you say?
People ask me where I live, I tell them I live in Puanua, Wamanalo, or we just call it Sovereignty.
You call this place Sovereignty?
Yeah.
For some Native Hawaiians on the outside, sovereignty movements like Bumpy's are beyond symbolic. They have a real impact.
Overall, you need those type of people. If we don't shake up things, Hawaiian language would have never been approved to be taught as a foreign language. We wouldn't have Native Hawaiian agencies to provide us with better health and wellness and nutrition education. So we fought for a lot to receive a lot.
What's your message to Americans in the United States who might not know much about Hawaii's history or what you're doing here?
I don't know if I want to talk to the people of America. They like battling with each other right now, right? And so all I can say is we've been there. You know, we've been there, America. And we still have a lot to settle with the United States. It's not done.
Hey guys, it's Dina. Be sure to check out the last video in this series where I take you back to the studio and reflect on what I've seen and learned in my week here in Hawaii. And let us know what you think.